Good morning and welcome to part 5 of the tour of Sculpture by the Lakes. Last time we finished in the kitchen garden, and from there we're going to today go down into the bamboo garden and through the willow tunnel and talk about a couple of sculptures on the way. So join me for the tour. Thank you. As you can see, everything is growing so fast at the moment. A few days ago these little lettuce seedlings were very small, but already they're growing quite large. Soon be ready to go into the kitchen. And then this beautiful crabapple tree. Last year this produced so much fruit, which again we will use in the gallery cafe. Looking splendid. And then around the side and into the bamboos. We planted these bamboos when we first came here. We brought some of those with us from our previous home, and they're looking spectacular nice. A lovely little haven. In the winter, these stems will actually strip the leaves back off them, so we end up with these lovely, clean stems. You can really see the colour of the bamboo. This very dense patch here, in winter, this is used by starlings. We have hundreds of starlings coming and roosting in here every night. The sound is spectacular. And I think that's why these bamboos are growing so well, because there's a lot of fertilizing going on. And then moving down here, we've got the raven sculpture. In European culture, the raven is often regarded as evil, partly because they were seen on battlefields peeking over the remains. I feel this is a bit more a reflection of the folly of man than the character of the raven, who's only clearing up the aftermath. However, the raven is seen as a magical creature with the indigenous people of the Pacific Northwest, and features prominently in nearly all of the First Nations. The raven determined the order of things in the world and was a healer, a magician, and a trickster. This piece is based on a story from the Haida people in British Columbia, where the people lived in darkness without fire and fresh water. The raven secured the blessings of fire, water, sun, moon and stars for humankind and all other creatures. And the circle in the base shows the raven about to take the sun and place it into the sky to light up the world. And Luna's joining us for this little part as well. Morning, Luna. How's the Spanish terrorist this morning? In fine form. And moving down through here, another little bridge going back to the gardens that way, and then into the willow wall and the willow tunnel. We planted this about 6 years ago just by planting willow saplings, no roots, nothing, just stems really, and bending them over, and then every year we add more to them as we twist and prune them and twist some of the new branches in. As you can see here, we twist them all into the existing frame, and so in a relatively short amount of time this has become absolutely spectacular. It's quite a lot of work every year, but yes, because these will grow. These little bits here you see growing, they'll grow about 10 foot, 12 foot this year, sometimes taller, and then at the end of the year we just prune them off again. And this is the fruit sculpture. There's pears, apples, cherries and plums here. One of the things I really like as a sculptor is form, and the thing with fruit is that we always tend to look at it as a source of food rather than actually the shape of it. And by making these huge pears and apples, you really look at the shape of them and see just how magnificent they are. And so that's it for the garden part around the kitchen garden and the area around our house. And now we'll slowly go back towards the lakes and start looking at some of the places and the sculptures there. Here we're doing a little bit of work on the ditch, which has got a little bit too much sediment in it, so it's all being tidied out at the moment. And then here we go back towards the fern garden and leaf spirit, and I can hear some swans coming. I'm just going to stop and see if I can film those because they're such a lovely sight. That was amazing. I just love the sound of swans as they fly. The sound of their wings through the air is remarkable. Leaf spirit again, and this time we'll go back over the bridge. And back to Hootie, the first sculptor to go into the park. Hootie was the Egyptian god of the moon, and he's often depicted with an ibis on his head, or as a head of an ibis. And so this sculpture, again, the body reflects that curve, that line, as the whole bird is abstracted. So thank you for joining me on this magnificent morning. It's still quite early in the morning. I thought I'd get up early and do this before the wind starts, because that then affects the microphone. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I hope you come back again for the next one, which will start going down the lakes. You can hear in the background the geese chattering away at the moment, and they've just taken off. We've also got our first goslings of the year and our first ducklings of the year now. So nature is starting to show its abundance. Thank you very much.